The Battle for Supremacy. It was the 18th century, a period marked by fierce colonial rivalries, political intrigue, and the constant struggle for dominance among European powers. The seeds of conflict between Britain and France had been sown in the New World, as both nations vied for control over valuable colonies and trade routes. In the drawing rooms of London and the salons of Paris, whispers of impending conflict permeated the air. Diplomats engaged in delicate negotiations, but the undercurrent of tension refused to dissipate. The colonies of North America, the Caribbean, and the Indian subcontinent became the chessboard for this geopolitical struggle. The catalyst for the conflict came in the form of a disputed territory in the Ohio Valley. Both Britain and France laid claim to the region, seeing it as a strategic gateway to the vast riches of the interior of North America. Skirmishes erupted as settlers and soldiers clashed on the frontier, escalating the tension to a point of no return. News of the skirmishes reached the courts of London and Versailles, and the respective monarchs, King George II of Britain and King Louis XV of France, faced increasing pressure from their advisors and military commanders to defend national honor and interests. War seemed inevitable. In the spring of 1756, both nations formally declared war, igniting a conflict that would span the globe and be known as the 7 Years' War. The theaters of war stretched from the North American colonies to the Caribbean, Europe, Africa, and the Indian subcontinent. The great empires were mobilizing for a showdown that would determine the fate of nations. On the home front, citizens of Britain and France rallied behind their flags, stirred by patriotic fervor. The call to arms resonated through the cities and countryside as young men enlisted in the military, ready to defend their homeland and expand their empires. The naval theater of the war became a crucial battleground, as both Britain and France sought to assert their dominance on the high seas. The Royal Navy, with its formidable fleet and experienced sailors, clashed with the French Navy in a series of epic naval engagements. The Battle of Quiberon Bay, fought off the coast of Brittany, became a defining moment in the naval conflict. The British fleet, under the command of Admiral Edward Hawke, decisively defeated the French, securing British naval supremacy and opening the door for further expansion in overseas colonies. In the vast wilderness of North America, the conflict took on a different character. Both British and French forces, along with their Native American allies, engaged in a brutal struggle for control of key forts and trading posts. The Battle of Quebec, a pivotal clash fought in the heart of New France, saw British General James Wolfe face off against French General Louis-Joseph de Montcalm. The steep cliffs and treacherous terrain around the city set the stage for a dramatic showdown that would determine the fate of Canada. As the war raged on, the conflict spilled into other regions, turning the global map into a chessboard of imperial ambitions. In the Caribbean, British and French fleets clashed over control of lucrative sugar colonies, while in India, the Battle of Plassey unfolded, with British forces seeking to expand their influence on the subcontinent. The alliances formed during the war further complicated the geopolitical landscape. Prussia, sensing an opportunity, aligned itself with Britain, while Austria and Russia joined forces with France. The conflict, originally sparked by colonial disputes, had become a struggle for supremacy among the great European powers. As the war dragged on, the toll on both nations became increasingly apparent. The cost of maintaining vast overseas empires and sustaining protracted military campaigns strained the resources of Britain and France. In 1763, exhausted and facing financial ruin, the belligerents entered into negotiations. The Treaty of Paris, signed in February 1763, brought an end to the 7 Years' War. The terms of the treaty were complex and multifaceted, with territorial exchanges and concessions on both sides. Britain emerged as the primary beneficiary, gaining control of Canada, Florida, and various territories in India, while also solidifying its dominance in the Caribbean. The 7 Years' War left an indelible mark on the histories of Britain and France. The conflict reshaped the geopolitical landscape, redrawing borders and solidifying the emergence of the British Empire as a global superpower. In Britain, the victory was celebrated as a triumph of naval and military prowess, fueling a sense of national pride that would resonate for generations. The acquisition of vast colonial territories brought newfound wealth and opportunities for trade, setting the stage for the expansion of the British Empire in the years to come. In France, the defeat was a bitter pill to swallow. The loss of Canada and other territories marked a decline in French colonial ambitions. The financial strain of the war also contributed to the discontent that would eventually erupt into the French Revolution, altering the course of history once again. As the dust settled and the scars of war began to heal, the 7 Years' War stood as a testament to the complexities of geopolitics, the quest for imperial supremacy, and the enduring impact of conflicts that shaped the destiny of nations.